All right, welcome back to Twin Taylor. I'm David.
Not Gary.
And today we're going to talk about insurrection versus sedition versus the 14th Amendment.
Yes.
And other things.
And political prisoners. So, in case you didn't know it, there's a bunch of political prisoners that are locked up in cells right now. And
singing political prisoners. They sing, you know.
Yes, and Trump, our dear leader, wants to free these political prisoners from the evils that the Democrats have put them through.
Now, one of the things that brings this up is that one of the things about the 14th Amendment, Section 3, is that basically it's saying you can't hold office if you committed insurrection against the United States, or if you participated in insurrection against the United States, or give aid and comfort to. So if Trump is saying he's going to pardon all these people that rioted in the Capitol on January 6, 2021, is that giving aid and comfort? Or is he gonna get word from his lawyer saying, this could give an opening, and then Trump, although he promised to pardon all these people, doesn't.
Right.
So, what you have to find out is, and I was asking, what about like Stewart Rhodes or Mr. Tarrio there? And in this case, they were convicted. Stewart Rhodes was convicted of seditious conspiracy, which overlaps with insurrection, but they're not exactly the same thing. And the difference is subtle. While they clearly overlap, sedition centers more on the plotting and incitement, whereas insurrection is generally understood to mean the actual violent acts of an uprising aimed at overthrowing the government. So, although those January 6 rioters were not convicted of insurrection, insurrection is what they were doing.
Yes.
It's an uprising at overthrowing the government. Now, there was the federal law against insurrection, Section 2383, slightly blurs that line, according to this article in the New York Times. It says, whoever incites, sets on foot, assists, or engages in any rebellion or insurrection against the authority government of the United States or laws thereof, the authority of the United States or laws thereof, or gives aid or comfort thereto, is guilty of that offense. Insurrection cases are difficult to prove and very rare. While many of the people call the events of January 6th an insurrection, the Justice Department has not charged any rioters with that crime. And in addition to the handful of seditious conspiracy charges against the militias, the Oath Keepers, and the Proud Boys, prosecutors have charged various rioters with such crimes as assaulting police officers, obstructing an official congressional proceeding, and trespassing. So technically, nobody has been convicted of insurrection. But it's kind of like when people say, define pornography. I don't know the definition, but I know it when I see it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we saw insurrection in January of 2021.
Yeah.
And if Trump were to pardon all these folks, even though they weren't convicted of insurrection, but they certainly did violent acts to basically show rebellion, fight like hell or else you won't have a country to fight for, that's fighting against the incoming government is what that is. I think a reasonable jury would say, it walks like a duck, it quacks like a duck, it looks like a duck, it's a duck.
Yeah.
So will he pardon the insurrectionists? Will he pardon the January 6 rioters? Or will he let them rot in prison?
Well,
no, he hasn't kept any of his other pre-campaign promises. Why should he start now?
Okay, so will Trump pardon the January 6th political prisoners for entertainment purposes only?
For entertainment, very entertaining purposes only.
Yes, well, there you go.
There you go. There's your MAGA.
That's right. If you're going to entertain someone, you may as well put a fish in your cup.
They are the ultimate. They are the MAGA of the MAGAs. Those are the true believers. Literally willing to fly across the country for some of those folks, storm the Capitol, fight riot police, smear poop on the walls and put their feet up on Nancy Pelosi's desk.
Yeah.
Because America.
Because Trump told him it was stolen. So foundational reading, page of cups. It's just believing all the nonsense that was going on for Jan 6th. So is Trump going to pardon these people? Trump sees them as patriots.
At least as the foundation of the reading, you've got the MAGA folks.
Yep. The challenge is the 5 of Swords. Winner takes all, knowing when to walk away and knowing when to fight. Yep. Now, Trump is all about fighting. He's not about walking away. And so that's the challenge for him, is because if he does pardon these people, it could open the door further for Congress or for the Democrats to say, you know what? He's given here's some more proof that he has provided aid and comfort for insurrectionists. Now,
hey, Gary, I'm gonna sort of picture, if you will, Jamie Raskin or somebody like that challenging Trump on the 14th Amendment, and in the background they've got playing clips of the insurrection happening on January 6, 2021. Mm-hmm. And he's saying he's pardoning this person who, show him beating on the cop. This guy got convicted and sentenced to 10 years for doing that. Here's the Proud Boys going up there in a stack with the wrong hands on the shoulders. These guys got convicted, and their leaders in there for 20 years for seditious conspiracy. The optics are horrific. And how do you convince people when you're watching? Now, granted, it's Congress, so they'll be like this. Didn't see it. Don't know what you're talking about with their fidget spinners. Carry on. Sorry to interrupt.
Okay, no worries. So you got MAGA at the base. You got the challenge is knowing when to fight, knowing when to walk away.
Yep.
Underneath it, the Hermit, trying to find that path forward. Now, I guess Trump could argue that he's got presidential immunity, and as president, he has the ability to pardon people.
He does.
And so he could just say, hey, you know what? I'm not providing aid and comfort. Just as president, I am pardoning these people because they were unjustly convicted, or they're really good people and they deserve a break. In the past, you had the Judgment card, the insurrectionists, or I'm sorry, the January 6th rioters / political prisoners face the horn of justice.
By the way, when Gary's saying political prisoners, his tongue is so firmly in his cheek and the sarcasm is so real. Don't add in the comments, we're not political prisoners. We know that. He is being sarcastic.
Yeah, exactly. The level of sarcasm is very high when I use that term. Yeah. So they've already faced judgment and they were found guilty. Current situation is the 4 of Wands. Hey, Trump, to me, this is just kind of like MAGA celebrating their victory. Of course, these do look like prison bars. Hey, how's it going in prison, guys? Everything going good? It's probably Trump looking at these people behind prison saying, we got to help them. We got to do something for them. What happened to them?
Not only that, you think at it, he got MAGA. They're the most fanatical ones. The Take No Prisoners MAGA. They answered his call, and now they're in prison.
Precisely.
Keep going. You're doing a great job of explaining who these people are and where they currently are. Now let's see what happens in the next 3 cards with them.
These are the ones that Trump loves the most because they're the ones that were willing to fight and go to jail for him. King of Swords, overarching energy is the King of Swords. Yeah, this is the judgment was, this is what you did. Yep. You were convicted of these crimes. You did them. In some cases, they pled guilty, I'm sure. In other cases, they were just simply found guilty. Lesson to be learned is the Ace of Cups. Controlling your emotions. It was a very emotional day. Trump was out there telling them that you got to go out there and fight. If you don't fight for your country, you won't have a country left to fight for. And they did. And, a lot of them are disillusioned with Trump. They'll probably be very happy to take his pardon, But the lesson to be learned here is, you got to be careful, Donald. If you start pardoning these people, you're going to create a lot of outrage in the United States. You may make your MAGA base happy, but there's going to be a lot of people who saw those riots for what they were, and they're not going to be happy that you're letting them go. It's just reinforcing how you're not holding people accountable. You don't hold yourself accountable. You don't hold others accountable. Outcome, Ace of Swords. Sword of Truth and Justice. That's actually a very interesting card. It's for me, this is, if you do this, basically the Sword of Truth comes out. The emotions that people are feeling are going to generate some actions. I think if he does it, my gut is it's going to backfire. It will benefit these people, and MAGA will be thrilled, but it's going to backfire spectacularly.
The funny thing is that he's going to want these stormtroopers, if you will, out of prison because he's going to need them again in 4 years.
Yes.
Or sooner if he's being kicked out of the presidency sooner than that. The thing is, some of those people, they have done their prison sentences, are out. They are, in the middle of their prison sentences, so on and so forth. Now that they've been incarcerated, are they going to do this again? Was it worth it? Where was he? Here's your Sword of Truth. Where was this 4 years ago when you could have done something about it? Why did you make me wait 4 years? Why did I have to rot in prison, your King of Swords, for 4 freaking years while you did this? And now you're finally getting around to party. You could have done this 4 years ago. Why now? And so he's not going to get all of them back. He will not get all of them back.
Nope.
And, despite his urgings, riot in the streets, don't let them indict me on things, nobody shows up.
Yeah, it's that whole Ace of Cups, that new strong series of emotions. The people that are going to celebrate it, they're the ones that are already celebrating that Four of Wands with Trump. They're the folks that are out there singing the Jan 6th national anthem song. They're the ones, they're already going to vote for Trump. They already support him. You're not helping broaden your base at all. You're just going to galvanize and piss off the people that either saw this as a just conviction or, for the love of God, we're still on the fence about you. It's like, how could you, I'm sorry, but I just don't understand how anyone could possibly be on the fence with this man still. You know what he is. You know what he's about. It's either you're for him or you're against him. I guess the frustrating part for me are the one-issue voters or the one-issue supporters. Well, Trump supports strengthening borders, so you're willing to take everything else that comes along with that.
Yeah, the racism, the misogyny, and the corruption,
reproductive rights. Yeah, you're willing to overlook all of that because he wants to give tax breaks to the wealthy, or he's good for the economy. It's just those people frustrate the holy shit out of me. Pardon me.
Okay, so a little for Carter. Will he actually pardon a bunch of people from January 6th?
Why don't you make it big?
I could.
Big for Carter. Well, here comes the sun.
Sun card, yeah, I think he will. The Tower card, that's not great. The Magician card, look at these major arcana. Oh my god, they're all major arcana. Will he release the majority of them? Let's see, we got the Truth coming out, the manifestation, the sudden ending, and the karmicness of it, along with contracts and agreements.
I know how I'm reading it.
Jeez. It's
Can I go first?
Sure, go for it.
Okay, so Sun card, yeah, he's going to do it. Underneath it is the Two of Cups, because he's made agreements with his base that he's going to do it. So he will use his manifest powers to pardon these rioters and insurrectionists. However, the problem is you've got a tower moment. This is dovetailing in with my reading pretty nicely, which is that Ace of Cups. This is a tower moment. This is going to start causing a collapse, because although it's pleasing your MAGA followers, it's for people who are believers in justice and felt that these prisons terms and sentencings were just. You are now collapsing their belief in the system, if you will.
I think also, if you do this, you're bringing something on. You're bringing your own demise on yourself, because it's not going to be over with.
Yeah,
literally, going back to our diatribe at the beginning of this. If you pardon these people, you're giving aid, and you're supporting the aid and comfort portion of the 14th Amendment.
Yep.
And even if you do it, it doesn't mean that they're all going to come back and do it all over again. Some of them will have learned their lesson. Some of these idiots, went out there without talking with their spouses or their family before doing that. And their family's going to, if they, 2 years, 4 years from now, if they're like, oh, got to answer the call, they're going to lay into them. Oh, no, you're not doing that again. You are not going to that. You are not going. If you go to prison, if you're going to do this, I'm divorcing you. I'm disowning you. You're on your own. I'm not paying for your lawyers. I'm not bailing you out. Do you remember what it was like in prison? Do you want to go back? Do you want to lose your job? Do you want to lose your friends? Do you want to lose your house? Do you want to lose your kids? It's like this. They're going to understand the consequences. The dipshits the first time for a lot of them, they didn't understand the consequences. Right. Now they know what the consequences are. I would assume, even if they're fanatical, 1 in 3 might repeat it. And 1 in 3 might say, I'm behind them all the way, but I'm not going to go get arrested this time. I'll go to the rally and shout out. I'll stay outside the Capitol this time, but I ain't going in there. That's 1/3 are idiots. They'll do it again because they're idiots. 1/3 will go down there to give their support, and 1/3 will say, you know what, I'll watch it on TV and like keep my mouth shut this time because I don't want to go back to prison.
Yeah. I imagine that those January 6th rioters suffered a lot beyond just incarceration. Just like you said, between being ostracized by family, friends, losing their means of living, so on and so forth. Was it worth it?
The ones that got away with it will think so, but you know what? I doubt they'll do it again.
Yeah,
because they see what happened to everyone else.
Yeah, the ones that got away also had a nice picture of this is what happens when you F around. You got away this time, but you'll see what happens if you get caught.
Yeah, they might be cocky and say, I got away the first time, I'll get away this time. They're more likely to go back and do stupid stuff again. But the wiser of them will say, about that, I got away with it once. I don't think I'm going to get away with it again. So why would I test fate? But it's amazing how many people are willing to repeat something that they got away with, somehow thinking they're smarter, more clever, luckier, or whatever. That they poop golden eggs and they're not going to get caught this time either.
Well, you just encapsulated the whole 2024 election, didn't you?
Yeah, I think so. All right. So insurrectionists, will they get pardoned? Yeah, likely. Some will. Will they answer Trump's call? I'm only thinking maybe 1/3 might. 2/3 might show up. Instead of having like 1,000 people storm the Capitol, it's going to be like 300. It's going to be greatly diminished.
Yeah, I guess the other thing that kind of came to mind is, how Biden passed a bunch of legislation to relieve student loan debt for people who had student loans to go to college. And there were a lot of Republicans out there that were like, I had to sacrifice and save for my kids' college. And,
that's right. I had to endure polio. How dare you come out with a vaccine for polio? These kids should have to go through polio too.
So, on some ways I get it. Hey, they had to sacrifice and they did all the right things to help their kids get through college without loans. But not everyone has that luxury or those resources. So I wonder if some of that will play a little bit with the folks that actually serve their sentences, that a pardon isn't going to do them any good.
Well, yeah, those people are not going to go back down there again. It's like, where was this pardon 4 years ago when it would have made a difference for me?
Exactly. And so the worst of the worst are the ones that are going to benefit from it.
Exactly. What, you're going to pardon Stuart Rhodes and Tario? That's who you want pardoned? Oh, that's not going to make some people happy.
Oh yeah, and so once again, I think that's that Ace of Cups on my reading and the Tower on yours, is that it's not a good decision, and then the Wheel of Fortune starts to spin.
Yeah. By the way, I just want to throw that out there as you're talking about, I paid my college debts out and my student loan debts, and other people should too. You notice how they'll argue that, but if you make it about polio vaccines, the argument sounds really stupid.
Yeah, it does.
It's like, you can on the one hand, oh yeah, well, they paid money and everybody should pay money. I had to live through polio without a vaccine. Now this vaccine comes out. How dare they come out with a vaccine after I endured through the whole polio thing? But that's the whole point, is that you try and make it better for everybody else down the line so that nobody suffers like that. But somehow, if it involves money coming out of your back pocket, that's bad. Yeah. But if it's like public health, it's acceptable. And that makes it, they're equivalent, but it makes no sense. Yes. The different opinions. By the way, so for the few viewers that we have, and God, who was it that who's our viewer that has a lot of drag racing cars? I'm forgetting her name now. She's showing up on the live. Damn it! Yeah, I know the name too. I hate myself for not remembering this because we're talking about it. We watch Gary and I both watch a channel. He hasn't put up content in several months now, but it's called Cars and Zebras. Yep. And just for fun, he's silly. A lot of fart jokes. It's hilarious. Yeah. But Gary knows where I'm going with this. He has this like bald-headed boomer guy who looks like Ray from Car Edge, wearing this purple shirt. And whenever he talks about a car, some technology upgrade, this guy comes rising up. Back in my day, we didn't have to wear seatbelts. They were optional, and we liked it that way. Blah! And don't get me started on EVs either. It's just like this grumpy old grandpa. Shut up, grandpa. So, for people that are just like, no, blah, they're just angry people. Yeah. Ignore them. They're just going to complain about anything anyways. They're just waiting for their trigger. That's who supports Trump.
Yes, exactly.
Get off my lawn.
It's okay if someone gets a benefit that you didn't. Don't take it personally. It wasn't.
They didn't do it to spite you. We waited for Ray here to get a 21 and pay off his college debts, and then we offered the $10,000 to everyone else. Yeah, I mean, we get the missed opportunity.
Right.
During 2008, when they were doing cash for clunkers for cars.
Yeah.
My car that I was driving at that time was 19 years old. Had 240,000 miles on it, but it was an Acura Integra, and it got like 28 to 30 miles per gallon. So it didn't qualify for cash for clunkers because it didn't get under like 20 miles per gallon or something like that.
How dare you buy something efficient?
I know. So I'm punished because back in the day, a decision was made to buy a fuel-efficient vehicle. And I drove a fuel-efficient vehicle. And now there's this program out there to help me get a newer vehicle that's fuel efficient, but mine doesn't qualify.
Yeah.
Aggravating is all get out. And all sorts of programs that they had to help people on their feet. Now, sour grapes. I was in a great shape during 2008. I had a job. I was employed. It paid well. While other people laid off, I had a job. I was working. I didn't need the $4,000. It sure would have been nice. It would have been nice to upgrade my car back then. But it was a perfectly functioning, serviceable car at that point. And it's just sort of like sorry, this program's not for you.
Yep.
But I'm not out there, stupid cars. The only thing that outraged me is like, why am I being punished for making a good decision, 10 years ago? And people who made lousy decisions 10 years ago are getting rewarded to make slightly less lousy decisions.
Yep.
Life's not fair.
That's how it works.
Yep, life's not fair.
So how's the polio vaccine holding up for you?
Don't even get me started on polio vaccine. All right, we'll end it here. Thank you everyone for watching this video and supporting our channel. We do appreciate it.
If you think that we should end this video about 5 minutes ago, give us a thumbs up.
Yeah, exactly. If you want to see the guy in the purple shirt that is the angry boomer who back in his day really liked V8s, and don't even get me started on electric vehicles.
Yeah, go see Cars and Zebras.
Yeah.
Great vintage car racing, drag racing down the quarter mile.
I'll see if I can find a screenshot of the old boomer too.
Oh, that's got to be the thumbnail for this video if we can find it.
All right. Thank you, everyone. We'll catch you on the next video.
And
yes, I forgot.
We have card.
We have secret cards and secret cats.
And the secret cat. So secret card is the 5 of Cups, feeling sorrow, looking at the stuff that was spilled in front of you, but also behind you, there's still opportunities. So, I mean, yeah, Trump may try and pardon these people and it will cause a bit of outrage for the rest of us, but it opens up doors of opportunity because the people that look at this and see how unjust this decision is may actually start taking action for that.
And for those people who don't care, except for those that card had a black cape, we have a black cat.
Indeed.
Don't wake me up. I'm sleeping. All right, everyone. Take care. We'll catch you on the next video.
Bye.